Oh, I didn't see you ladies and gentlemen over there. It's Boy, and I'm back here making content, right? So the scenario is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting straight into scenarios and whatnot. There's 104 days of unemployment, and work comes along just to end it. And the annual problem of our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm finding a pretty good way to spend it. But here's the thing. I got like, 2-3 months. And we gotta bust out as much content as humanly possible. You guys are saying to yourselves, but you're a boar, right? You can do things that humans cannot. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a human, guys. I hate to break it to you. Anyways, today I'm doing something that a lot of people request. You know, I go to the grocery store and people are requesting this. They say, Nick, you should give children's book reading a shot. You know, I think you could really do well with that business. You know, that's a business that might suit me. I said to myself, I like reading. I like kids, you know? Not like that. Come on, not like that. I like kids, dude. Laughter and joy. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll give it a go. So I went to my local bookstore and I picked up a really fabulous read. As a matter of fact, I'm perusing the children's section. Just having the time of my life, honestly. You know, there's books about rats and there's books about caterpillars and butterflies and whatnot. And I stumbled upon a masterpiece, right? So I go up to the checkout register lady. She says to me, son. She says, son, is this literature for you or are you gifting this? I'm like, well, that's for me actually. She is in dismay. Big words coming out, dude. I went to the bookstore and it filled me with wisdom, literary wisdom, dismay. What was I saying? She said, whoa. Yeah, she said, who are you buying this for? I said, I'm buying it for me. Does that shock you? She said, you, sir, are a literary savant. I've never seen someone reach so deep into a shelf to pick out a historic piece like one by Frederick Douglass. I said, well, yeah, you're speaking to a literary mastermind. Needless to say, me and the lady at the register had a time later. We did a little reading, but we did a little more than that, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, without further ado, we're reading a beautiful book by Frederick Douglass. If you give a mouse a boner. Now, the first thing that I do when I'm looking for a good piece of literature, right? When I'm looking for a piece of literature, I look at the cover. There's a joyous little mouse on here. And you know, he doesn't have a boner yet. So I say to myself as the reader, oh, this could be a little mystery, right? How is this little mouse gonna pop a boner? And I did a little deep dive, maybe a little bit of spoilage. Flipped through some pages, picture book, guys. So if this mouse really pops a boner, I'm gonna find out. Anyways, enough talk. Let's see what Frederick Douglass worked on here. This book belongs to me. So if you're trying to get your hands on it, sorry, you can. There's a little context here, but I don't read the context. Okay, beautiful. If you give a mouse a boner, right? If you give a mouse a boner, I don't know why I started that like I was about to start reading. We're at a beautiful title sequence. And what do we got here? It's a little ginger kid eating what seems to be maybe some Scooby snacks. And he's looking at a Playboy magazine by what it seems like. He's hiding his boner with his left leg. Expert maneuver. I've done that many times. Anyways, let's get into the book, right? Keeping you guys suspended. Here we go. If you give a mouse a boner. Ooh, dude. There's not much to go off of on the first page, ladies and gentlemen. I said it like it was a revolutionary finding. But we gotta find out what happens next. If you give a mouse a boner, he's gonna ask for a glass of milk. You know, when I get a boner, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what reading's all about, right? It gives you ideas. It gives you new things that you can look forward to and experiment with. You know, when I get a boner, if I'm not doing the left leg technique like our ginger boy in the cover was doing, I'm not thinking about a glass of milk. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I get a boner, what do I think about? Dude, I just think, man, dude, I don't know. And sometimes when you're reading, sometimes your thinking mind really draws into the book and you can't think like yourself. But that's what the imaginary adventure of reading's all about. Anyways, he's gonna ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, so we got our ginger boy from the cover, master of the boners, if we recall, giving him some milk. Hopefully it ain't sperm, ginger boy. He'll probably ask you for a straw. You know, that's a little suspect. You know, who drinks their milk with a straw? I haven't met many mouses. Let me think, have I met any mouses? No, I haven't met any mouses. I've seen a few though, and I don't think they're drinking their stuff with the straw, you know? I could be wrong. It's another, you know, reading is what it's all about. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. You know, I'm hoping this mouse didn't ejaculate when we gave him that damn boner. Because why does he need a napkin? You know, what's he need a napkin for? I don't know. We'll find out on the next page. Then I'll want to make sure in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. Okay. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, but milk mustache, okay. When he looks in the mirror, he might notice his balls need a little trim. That's, strange writing, Frederick. Strange writing, Mr. Douglas. But, yeah. No, when I'm trying to justify Douglas's, usage of vocabulary here. But when I get a boner, okay, yeah, hold on. When I get a boner, I guess one thing that I think about is, dang, if this bush wasn't here, I'd have like a whole nother inch on this boner. So yeah, Mouse is a forward thinker. So when he notices that his balls need a trim, he'll ask for a pair of narrow scissors. And with that, I got a little Spanish, so why not popcorn over to Gustavo?
When he's finished giving his balls a trim, you want the broom to sweep up. Sweep, 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 sweep. I mean, that's kind of disgusting, especially he's shoving his balls in front of Ginger Boy. Like, what kind of relationship do they have? I don't know. It's a weird one. But He starts sweeping though. He starts sweeping. I think I forgot. Anyways, he might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. That's a crazy mouse. I never know a mouse who do the sweeping around the house just because he save his balls. You know, just save them in the, not in the sink. I was about to say the sink, but no, not in the sink. Save them somewhere nice. Cleaning the house, crazy mouse. He may even end up washing the floors as well. Mouse, what happened, man? Just a boner cleaning the whole damn house? What kind of mouse is this? When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. Okay, now I see what the mouse is doing, right? Okay, when I get a boner, and it seems that the mouse may have busted his boner. That's why he's cleaning around the house. And yes, nap is very reasonable. Very reasonable. Hold on. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. Okay. So Ginger Boy is very nice to the mouse. If I had a roommate and he's popping boners and ejaculating, I'm not making him a damn bed, you know? But that's just me, I guess. Gingers are a different breed. You know, I've met a few gingers and yeah, they may make you a bed after you ejaculate. It's the type of gingers I know. Anyways, you crawl in, make himself comfortable, fluff the pillow a few times. Okay, reasonable. Probably ask you to read him a story. Okay, I know some gingers. But no ginger's reading a damn story to his roommate after he ejaculates all over the house and shaves his balls in the sink. Okay? You know, I may be talking to some mean roommates, I guess. Maybe I need some like this guy. Seems like a nice fellow. I want to ejaculate in his house. Sorry. So you read to him from one of your books, and he asked to see two pinturas. Okay. Ginger Boy has some good pictures. Oh, these are the pictures from the nude magazine he's reading in the start. Hold on. Backtrack. See, this is crazy when books have you thinking so far back. Look at that. He's reading from his Playboy magazine in the front, and then he's showing his roommate after he busted a nut. Okay, that's kind of crazy though, because like, he just busted a nut, Ginger Boy. Like, give him some time. Come on, show him your nudes later. Anyways, when he looks at the pictures, he gets so excited, he wants to draw some of his own. He asks for paper and crayons. Okay, so, I don't know, maybe Ginger Boy's drawing the nude magazine, but if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is nudes. So, we'll see what the mouse does. Oh, he's in his undies. Damn crazy mouse. You draw a picture, una pintura. Got some nice crowns though. When the picture is finished, you want to sign his name. Okay, harmless mouse. He's probably a Spanish mouse, very familial. You know, he just draw the family having a good time. Strong mouse. I like this mouse more and more. I don't like Ginger Boy showing him, you know, nude magazines or what is Ginger Boy doing? He seems, this is a weird dynamic. He's letting him burst nuts all over his house and shave his balls and showing him not good stuff. But the mouse is still good in my eyes. So I want to sign his name. Okay, so we might find out his name. I'd like to get to meet him, so let's see. Very happy to. With a pen. Then he'll want to hang this picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. Okay. And Ginger Boy, he's finding the tape. He's such a good roommate. But deep down, I think Ginger Boy is a bit weird. Maybe not, I don't know. It's maybe a cultural thing. But anyways, popcorn back over to Nikolai.
Oh. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys liked that reading. It was pretty nice. You know, sometimes when someone's popcorn reading, you get lost in the dynamics of their expression, and sometimes you don't get the full story. But when my boy was reading there, it hit me like perfectly. He described everything perfect. So anyways, Scotch tape. That ginger boy, that weird ginger boy. Thank you, Gustavo, for pointing it out. Because when I saw him on the cover or whatever, on that front page, I was like, wait, he seems a little strange. Gustavo pointed that out beautifully. Anyways, he'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the fridge will remind him that he's thirsty. Dude, what's he thirsty for? A couple of fine ladies? Honestly, understandable. Mouse, you gotta grow up out of the phase of busting nuts on your own account. You gotta start finding some beautiful ladies. Maybe even settle down, you know? Find one that you really connect with and resonate with. Think about it, Mouse. Think about it. Yeah, you could use one. So, anyways, he's thirsty. And it looks like Ginger Boy's a little tired. So let's see what happens. He'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's gonna want a boner to go with it. Man, that is freaking awesome. Like Gustavo was saying, it's not any roommate that'll give you boners all day long. Only this weird ginger boy. But hey, man, that's the story. Here's the thing. Ugh. A good story will really just add some years to your life. It makes you think more. It makes you ponder. It makes you say to yourself, wow, I didn't know the world was so vast. You know, I've done my fair share of traveling, here and there, whatever. And still, there's something about a book. There's something about these literary masterminds like Frederick Douglass that can take you somewhere even better than if you went there yourself. So man, guys, if you can get your hands on this book, Give a Mouse a Boner, then please do. I think if you read it yourselves, maybe in a group setting like I did, you might discover something about yourself. That's all, fellas. Expect some more videos on the way, maybe some more reading, more skits, more music. Let's just say I'm back. I'll say it.